that my house? But anywho, hey girl. I'm so excited to do this video because this is the first time y'all participated and like I asked y'all something and then y'all responded. I really enjoy interacting and talking to people and just like that whole shebang. That's my thing. Like if I could do that every day, I would, honey. Yes, this red lip. Yes, I know, honey. So let's talk. Y'all sent me a whole bunch of questions and I'm just so excited to like do this. This is just so cool. Like y'all want to know about me? Y'all got questions for me? All right, so let me just start with like the first couple of questions. Actually, listen. So there's about, girl, who cares? I don't know how many questions were asked, but there were a lot of questions that were asked. Some of them the same types of questions, so I kind of narrowed it down. Also, I don't want to answer all the questions because what if I want to do a question and answers video? Like, y'all not going to have nothing else to ask me because y'all asked me really good questions, so I don't want to answer them all now and then not have nothing to talk about later. I just randomly picked ones that I'm going to answer, but it's going to be a lot of them. So, boom, let's get started. All right. First question was, well, it's not a first question. It's just one of the questions. Where am I from? Wait, should I be shouting y'all out? Like, should I say y'all's at name? I don't know.
Question.
I'm not going to say the at name because some of the names are like weird and I don't know how to say it. And I'd rather say your actual name instead of your at name. So we're just going to skip that. Where am I from? I'm from Atlanta. ATL. 80 yeah.
Nah.
I know it's sad. Yeah, I went to school in Norcross. I stayed in Atlanta up until 2 years ago, and I've been in New York since then. How do I manage living in, you know what? I'm just going to read this off of here, off my phone, because I want to make sure I'm reading the question exactly like how y'all asked it. And because what I did was I copied all the questions down on my old computer and like, you know, I was going to do it that way, but I want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. What is this? See, this is why I be having to block people. How to manage living in New York, especially when you're young and living on your own in a big city. Budgeting while still having funds to shop and leisure. Like, how do I do it? First of all, before I moved to New York, I definitely planned out my every move. Like, what I was doing, where I was going to be working, what were my So, yeah. Sorry for all the noise, y'all. Before I moved here, I definitely, for me, I'm one of those people where I need to know where my money is coming from. You know, where are the coins coming in? My best friend was already living here and made it very clear, girl, if you ain't got the coin, okay, it's going to be a problem. I came up here and I interviewed before I ever moved here. Before I knew I could move here, I came to New York, I interviewed for a job, and I got the job. So at that point I knew, okay, I'm going to have a steady source of income. I'm fine, you know? And I feel like as long as you know that, you know, you're going to be having a check coming in, you'll be fine. Also, knowing how much your rent's going to be and, like, you know, like in New York, you're going to have to take that train shopping. Unless you bring your car. I sold my car before I got here because it was just like, oh, you're living in New York, you don't need it. But I actually live in Brooklyn, and I would love to have my vehicle. I'm just going to throw that out there, girl. Having a car would be fucking lovely because Brooklyn is big as fuck, and, you know, it'd be a lot easier to just get around. But I don't regret anything. Like, I'm glad I sold it. I had a little extra coin to come and move up here. How to budget? Pay attention to your bank account, girl. I don't overspend. I'm not an excessive shopper. I spend my money I spend my money on bills. Like, honestly, for a long time, I was living check to check. And I'm kind of still living like that. I ain't gonna lie. When I was in Atlanta, I was definitely living check to check. Excuse me. I was living by myself. I had my own apartment. And I was working 5 days out of the week. And I've been working since high school. Literally since 10th grade, I've had a job. And that's something I'm very proud of. It taught me independence. It taught me how to get it on my own. And it was necessary. And I think that doing that allowed me to be very confident moving to a different city because I knew how to work and I knew how to depend on myself. I hope I answered that question okay. Like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, basically. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't got the keys on the budgeting yet because you know, I'm kind of still living check to check. You know, when I get a nice chunk of check, I have to break it down based on priorities, my rent, my bills, and then from there it's like things that I need, my food, my commute money, like, you know, just adulting. The next question is, what did your hair look like before you cut it and began growing it back? Was it ever severely damaged by heat, bleach, or chemicals? Girl, my hair was so dry, very damaged. And it was damaged because, and I mentioned this in my last video, I am a victim, honey. And you don't use the word victim unless you're a victim. I was a victim of hard water in my old apartment, and it literally ruined my hair. And before that, girl, I'm gonna just throw this out there. I got my hair dyed fire red. A week after I got it dyed, I went and got my hair straightened. So let me give y'all a little story about that. I'm gonna just, okay. So there's this girl who is a hairstylist and a colorist, and she asked me, can she color my hair for her, like for a photo shoot? And so I'm like, a free hair color? Hell yeah. I wanted my hair to be colored anyway. So, you know, I was down for that. And the exchange was no money. It was me getting my hair dyed. And then the week later, I asked if she could straighten my hair because homecoming was coming up. I was going to homecoming with my best friend, Ed. So she dyes my hair fire red. We do the photo shoot. Everything's great. The next week, I go in and I have her straighten my hair. When I walked out, I probably felt like 30% of my hair was gone. Like, it was just all wrong. She was having her friend help her with my hair, and I should have said something, but I was cool with both of them, so it was like, you know, I'm going to let y'all do y'all thing, but the girl is not black, and she didn't know what she was doing. She was playing in my hair, and I really felt like, you know, they just wasn't taking it seriously. So when I left, I texted her like, hey girl, I feel like, you know, some of my hair is missing. And her response was basically just like very nonchalant, very like, you know, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Girl, now that was some years ago. So I'm definitely not as upset anymore because my hair has made some progress. But at the time, that like put me in a slight depression. My hair from that point on, and I had just moved into my apartment at that time. So my hair started to just like right then and there. And I watched it come out of my head. So to say the least, yes, girl, my hair was very damaged before I got it cut. Just like, you know, chemical damage. Like my hair just wasn't at its most flourished self. Oh, also, I used to do really stupid stuff to my hair, like, I remember before spring break, I was like, girl, I want my hair brown before I get down there. My hair was black. I want my hair nice and brown. I want a nice auburn color. So I went and got a box dye, dyed my hair. My hair did not take. So the next day, I went and bought the same box dye again and dyed my hair again the next day. Girl, my hair was a crisp when I went down to Panama City. A crisp. I was straightening my hair, girl, you know, on the beach, like, what's good, okay? Hair like straw, but I'm still cute. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Yeah, that's the kind of stupid stuff I used to do. So definitely there was some damage to my hair during my transition process. But once I decided to eliminate heat completely, I didn't use heat on my hair, any hair dyes or anything for a cool year. 1 full year and a half of just no chemicals, no nothing, no heat, and my hair was flourishing, okay? The next question, mountain or beach girl? Oh, wait, what? I'm saying it wrong. Mountain or beach girl? And where was your best travel destination and why? Oh, I like that question. So, I am definitely a beach girl. Mountains kind of scare me because I'm always like, what if this mountain decides to just like crumble? Okay, what if the mountain decides to break down, girl? Nature, it's a crazy thing, girl. And with the world that we live in, I will not be surprised if something, a natural disaster like that happens. And I pray that it doesn't, but that kind of stuff scares me. And when I'm in California, I'm always very like looking at everything because they have craziest mountains and hills, and it's very hilly there. So I'm always like, not too close. Rocks falling off the mountains and stuff. That stuff scares me. Like, I'm a scaredy cat. I watch too many movies like The Last Day on Earth, or what was it? 2012. There was another one that The Rock just did, and I always think that that's gonna happen. I don't know. So beach girl. And then, where was your best travel destination and why? I have only been out of the country one time. I need to get my travel game up. I went to Aruba, and it was literally beautiful. Like, the people were beautiful. The food was amazing. I just had such a great time. The beach was amazing. I went, I went parasailing. And if you know me, you know I'm afraid of heights. Like, I've never been on a roller coaster. I don't do that, girl. I like to keep the feet on the ground. So I also can't swim. So that was like one of those moments where it was a very like, okay, Kennedy, you're doing this. You're going to, conquer your fears right now. Like, do it. Let this be one of your moments. And I think it was just before I moved to New York, or like when I knew I wanted to move to New York, and I was trying to like prep for that. So it was a very like, you're also trying to conquer your fear of moving to a different city and going for your dreams. So why not also get in this parasail and let this man put you in the air? You know what I'm saying? So I did it, and it was amazing, and it was super cool. Will I do it again? Girl, I don't know. But it was definitely an experience I will never forget. So, Aruba. What camera do I use? I use my laptop. I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah, I just use my MacBook. I don't have a camera yet. And for a long time, it was like, oh, I'm not starting a YouTube until I get the best camera out. And it was just, that's not attainable for me right now. I don't have thousands of dollars to spend on a, cool ass camera. I don't got it. So I really have to stay within my means. And my means at this current point in my life were this Apple MacBook, refurbished. Okay? Can you offer any advice for people that may want to start a YouTube but aren't that great at editing? Girl, I'm not great at editing, but I do take my time. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to edit. And that's it. I watched so many YouTube videos at this point and have been watching YouTube videos like since high school that I kind of knew how, it should look. But when it was my time to do it, I realized like, whoa, this is a lot harder than it looks. So I had to do some research, and I did a lot of YouTube watching and looked up how to edit your YouTube video, how to edit on a MacBook. The questions that I actually had, I looked it up on Google, and there are so many resources to teach you how to edit and what editing softwares to use. So, yeah. How can others build up their social media? That's a great question. And it's a great question because social media is a thing now. Like, social media is a business, I would say figure out what it is that you're doing. What's your purpose? What are you selling, girl? What's your goal? Are you wanting to be a brand ambassador for businesses? Do you want to start your own business? What is it? What's your, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you trying to do with it? If you just want to look cute, then just look cute. You know, put a hashtag on, let somebody repost you, get followers that way. That works. When I first started getting like a lot of followers, it was based off of just my pictures getting reposted on a lot of the natural hair pages. It just started growing, and I built my own natural hair page, and so a lot of the people who were following me there came over to my personal page and vice versa. So it's kind of been building on its own, but definitely figure out your purpose and like what it is that you're trying to do on there before trying to like, I don't know, not before trying to do anything. Just like figure out what it is that you're trying to do, and then I feel like you'll know at that point what it is that you need to do to build it. Use your hashtags. Who do you love most in this whole world? Besides myself, it would have to be my brothers. I have 2 younger brothers. The youngest one is only 13. He turns 14 next month. Ah, that's just so crazy. Like, I've watched this little boy, this little baby, turn into a young man. And it's just, it's too much. And then my other brother is 24. He's a year behind me, so we grew up together. We used to be, you know, arms locked. Like, I ain't going nowhere unless my brother get to go. But yeah, that's who I love in this whole world. Best thing about living in New York, I get to see so many different types of people. There's so many cultures here, and the way New York is set up, it's just cool. Like, the buildings are cool. I can walk 10 blocks from here and it can look completely different. And it's just so cool. Like, what? Sometimes I have to like remind myself, like, babe, you live in New York City. Like, hello, girl from Atlanta in New York. What's good? So it's a thing. New York is a thing, and you never know how great it is until you live here. Like, you can talk about it, you can visit here, you can do all that, but until you actually live here, girl, you'll never really understand why it's something that you appreciate so much. And then if you live here and you like, oh my God, I hate New York gets on my nerves, when you leave here, you're gonna miss it. I do, at least. My friends do. Like, when we leave here, we always like, okay, I want to get back to the city. Also, one of the best things about living in New York is that you cannot live here without feeling like you have to go and get it. This city is a definitely like go-getter city, hustle city. People are up and moving every single day. There's no choice. There's no options. Like, you have to be working in order to live here. You can't sit on your ass. There is no laziness. There is no like just chilling. You have to be working. New York is that type of city. And in this point in my life, I need that. I love that. I'm you know, it feeds me. I have to get up every day and know, like, okay, it's that time. We getting it, you know, and nobody's paying attention to me, too. That's another thing I love about New York. There ain't no look-a-hooing up in here. Like, in Atlanta, everybody's look-a-hooing. Everybody want to see what you're doing. They like, who that? What you doing? Where you at, girl? Huh? It's nobody's paying attention to you. Like, I can walk in the middle of the street. Nobody will care. They don't care. Like, who cares? Who are you? I see a million people every single day. They don't care. When I first got here, I thought there was a parade outside, but it wasn't. It was just like a regular day. So, needless to say, there's so many people here that you can come here and hustle and do what you got to do and not worry about other people or what they think. Like, that doesn't matter here at all. Like, what are y'all doing out there? I just want to know. If I get up and they're not, like, repaving the sidewalk, it's going to get annoying. Because what is all that noise about? Ridic. So read it. While watching some of your snaps, I made a quick but not accurate guess that you are a model/actress. If so, what made you inspired to do this field of work? Okay, so when I was in 5th grade, we had career day, and you were supposed to come to class dressed as what you want to be when you grow up. So, girl, America's Next Top Model had just came out, girl, and I strutted in that class with my comp card, and I had a little cardigan wrapped around with some little sunglasses on, and I was a top model, okay? I've always been somebody who did not want a conventional job. I've never wanted to work in a workspace. I've always wanted to be my own boss, period. And I've always wanted to work in entertainment. You know, at that time I wanted to be a model because I saw it on TV, you know? I wanted to be on Zoom. I don't know if y'all remember Zoom. I wrote Zoom a letter. I gave it to my mom. She never sent it off. But I wrote them a letter, girl. I drew all the characters, and then I drew my own character. Like, look, I fit in perfectly. I knew that I wanted to be on TV, period. That stuck with me until I grew up. When I was in high school, I was nominated class clown, and that's what I was known for, is the girl who was making people laugh and being goofy. And even in middle school, same situation. Like, I've always been the same goofy ass girl, and I'm proud of that because it always kind of set me apart from other people. I've never been afraid to just be myself, and so the reason why I decided to get into that line of work is because I love it. I love entertaining. I love talking. I love making people laugh. I've always loved making people laugh. Always. So I like to lighten the mood. It makes me feel good knowing that, I made somebody smile. That's always fed me. When I was in high school, I started working because I wanted to make my own money. I didn't want to have to ask my parents for money. And at the time, my relationship with my parents was not great, and it was getting closer to the time where, you start looking into college applications, and it was very clear in my house, I'm not giving you lunch money, so figure out how you're going to make some bread. And so I did. I started working at Dairy Queen, girl, and in my second week, I got a raise, girl. That $7.50 went to $8.50, girl, okay? Working at Sonic, and then from Sonic, I started working at Laser Quest, which is a laser tag place. And I worked all through high school. And I loved it because I was making my own money. So once I graduated from high school, I started working in the hotel industry. And my mom works in the hotel industry as well. And I just kind of started feeling like, am I turning into my mother? This isn't the life that this isn't what I want. It's comfortable because I can pay my rent and I'm eating and I have my car. I've saved up enough money to get my own whip and stuff, but it wasn't enough. I wasn't doing what I told myself I wanted to do. And who I looked at myself in the mirror and saw, that's not the life that I was living. So it was kind of like a snap that said, okay, girl, what do you want? And I went for it. And so we here. Advice or maybe do's and don'ts of living in New York. Don't come here to chill. You're not going to do that. Don't come here without a plan. You need to know your sources of income. I answered that kind of already. Just come here knowing what, you're coming here to do. And don't stop. Don't come here and then, fall off. Come here ready to work, be consistent, and yeah. How long have I been natural? I've been natural since the 12th grade, 2009. How did your hair grow so fast? Girl, God, because I didn't do anything special. I do try and massage my scalp and stuff with castor oil, but because stuff is so fucking expensive here in New York, I don't buy products as often as I used to. So I try and work with the things that I have at home, and I didn't have any special products that are meant to help stimulate growth. So really just keeping my hair from knotting up, making sure I'm keeping my hair cleansed as often as possible, and the basics. I'm not gonna answer any real any more hair questions because I feel like I can just make hair videos for that. So what do you do to stay so in shape? I do a lot of Beyonce concerts at home, girl. I used to do a lot more because I've noticed that I perform better on carpet, and I have wood floors here, so it's not as easy as it used to be or whatever, but I can still get it, So I do yoga as well. I think yoga really helps to keep everything toned and nice and strong. And also I love to do stuff to work out my legs. I have great legs, honey. Hello, how you doing? But I would love to have legs that, might be a little bit more, thicker, So yeah. girl, give me a nice little side, give me a little side. You know, it's never too late to work on that waist, okay? And even where do you get your glasses from? These glasses are Miu Miu, and I have been wearing glasses literally since the 5th grade. So, and I cannot see without my glasses at all. So I definitely have to like go get my eyes checked every year and update my prescription. Like, it's a thing. You're so amazing and self-confident. I'm just wondering if you ever have an awkward phase. Well, first of all, thank you. And second of all, girl, I'm awkward today, okay? I'm still awkward. Like, I'm still awkward black girl. Like, anytime I go out somewhere, I feel like the other day, I went to somebody's birthday party wearing the same shirt, girl. So if you saw me there, girl, don't say that. It's to me. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt. How you doing? Because I haven't gone out in so long. And when I was in Atlanta, me and my best friend were going out all the time. Like, that was just part of our life. And Atlanta's nightlife is still the best nightlife compared to anywhere else. Like, New York's nightlife ain't shit. So I don't go out as often. And so when we went out, I felt like I didn't even know how to, like, bop to the music. Like, you know how you have, like, your, like, basic little, I feel like I didn't know what, I just felt like I looked weird. And so I know I was being awkward. I know I looked awkward. Like, I'm still awkward to this day. But I'm just more confident about my awkwardness. Like, I accept that I'm awkward. And I don't care what anybody got to say about it. Awkward is cool. And, girl, you see Issa Rae, okay? Issa is Queen Awkward Black Girl. She is Miss Awkward Black Girl. And look at her. You know what I'm saying? Transition that into her own show on HBO. I am accepting my weirdness, my awkwardness, my, like, you know, different stuff. Like, that's just, it's part of me. And I feel like I don't give a fuck anymore. I just don't give a fuck. I enjoy being myself. I enjoy being goofy. I like laughing at myself. And yeah, this is who I'm going to be. And I'm going to grow and, you know what I'm saying, develop into an even more poppin', awkward girl. Okay? Do you plan on becoming an actress in the future? You'd be so good in movies / TV shows. Hell yeah, girl. Hell yeah, I do. Where did you go to school and what do you do for a living? I didn't go to college. And, you know, let's talk about that without getting, like, too serious or anything. When everyone started applying for college applications and stuff, I just wasn't getting the help at home. It wasn't good at all. I really wasn't even staying at home like that. I was staying at a lot of my friends' houses. Like, it was a very deep part of my life. Me and my mom's relationship was very, it was tough. And so I wasn't going home and getting, you know, college application talk. And we weren't talking about planning. And no one ever said, let's schedule a time to go and visit this college or do that. I didn't do that. And so in 11th grade, I didn't apply to any schools. And then 12th grade came, and I remember talking to my counselor, and she's like, you know, what's your plan? What are you doing? Because they really start trying to, you know, push you to go to school. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. And because I wasn't getting that conversation at home, I really wasn't getting that pressure to go and do it either. So I think I applied to like 2 colleges, and because of my home life, my GPA kind of dropped. I wasn't doing my homework. I wasn't as focused in school. I was going to the counselor a lot, and like, it just wasn't a good time for me to focus on something other than myself or my family life. I was trying to figure out where I was living. I was trying to figure out, you know, just a lot of other things. College was not a priority for me. So all my friends left for college, and I literally felt like a failure. Like, what am I doing? They all moved from home and went to school, and it was just, it felt depressing. Like, you know, why am I still home? I know I'm smart. I know I'm capable. You know, I played around with the school thing, like going to this junior college and like submitting and going to take my little school picture and stuff. And I just felt like, I'm not I don't want to go back to class. Like, I'd already been out of school for months. So it was like, this ain't for me. And I've never enjoyed, schoolwork. I love learning, but I don't like schoolwork and sitting in classrooms for hours and like all that stuff has never fed me. Like, I will go to sleep in your face. I'm not into the school stuff. So at that point, I was an adult, and I said, you know what? I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to school. I don't even know why I'm going to school. I don't know what I want to do. It just didn't make sense financially for me to be investing the hard-earned money that I was making and working for into this idea that, college is going to get me where I want to be. Like, at that point in my head, I'm like, I am where I want to be. I'm working. I got my whip. I'm living by myself. Like, I don't need college. And that's how I looked at it. So, years later, my friends, they done graduated from school, and I'm still sitting here like, girl, well, what am I doing? What am I to do? When my best friend graduated from school, she got a job in New York, and it was like, okay, she's leaving. So now I have to get an apartment on my own, and I did, but it really like worked me up on the inside because I'm like, now people are living their lives and they're living their dreams and they're doing things. And I was just looking at my life like, okay, well, are you living your dream? Is this what you want to do? And it wasn't. I did not want to be working at a hotel every day. I never wanted to be this person who was working at a job and going there and making other people money and only seeing the smallest percentage of it. Like, it's not who I am. I don't want to talk about nobody else's business every day. I don't. I looked up some performing arts schools and colleges in New York and actually all over. I was looking at places in LA, some places in Chicago. I was looking at a lot of different places. And I applied to some performing arts schools, and I got into 2 of them here in New York, and they offered me scholarships and everything. So I was like, you know what? I'm moving to New York. My best friend was here. It was the only thing that made sense. Like, New York is, of course, the city I've always wanted to live in. Like, always wanted to live in New York. Like, New York meant I made it. New York was, okay, I'm going to be on Broadway. I want to be here. I want to be an actress. You either move to New York or LA to do that. So New York was always high up on that, that pedestal of like places I would move to if I could move. But financially, it just wasn't a thing. Oh my God, look at Beyonce. Ah, she looks so cute. Yes. Ah. Girl, my sister is so crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love these. Wow. She is pregnant as the fuck. Yes, and yes. Ooh, God damn, I love her. Okay, so anti-way girl. And I feel like I'm going all kinds of places with these questions. Like, I'm just telling my life story, but yeah, bear with me. Girl, people ask me one question, and I think that it's my, like, behind the scenes, my behind the music, my, true life. Girl, I done took it to a whole nother level. Y'all ain't even asked me all of that. But I'm going to tell y'all anyways. Where was I saying, though? Where was I finished? Yeah, so I applied to the schools, got in, and I was like, okay, I'm going to New York. I'm going to New York to be an actress. I got here. I told y'all I transferred my job to New York because I still needed to make money while I was here, because even though they were offering scholarships, it wasn't no full ride scholarship. I still had about $5,000 that I needed to pay them. And I didn't have $5,000 in my coin purse, girl. So I was like, okay, I'm going to still have to make some bread. So I transferred my job to New York, and then when I got here and I started visiting the school, the man that I had been speaking with, my administrator or whatever you call them, admin, whatever, he, I asked him about scheduling because I was going to have to work to afford all of this. And he was basically like, well, girl, school has to be your priority if you want to go here. Like, we can't schedule around your work schedule. You're going to have to schedule work around your school schedule. And that just wasn't possible. Like, I'm a grown woman. At the time I was 23. And so, I'm 23 going on 24. And wait, was I? Yeah, I always get my, like, time period mixed up. But anyway, you know, I'm grown and you have kids that are coming straight from high school in there. So I started to like just think about, was this the school dynamic I wanted? Do I want to go to school with a lot of like high school kids? Is this my school? And it wasn't. I didn't want to invest my money into a situation where I didn't feel confident about the outcome. I didn't look at the school and say, oh, when I leave the school, I'm going to book a show on Broadway. Or, oh, I'm going to learn so many things that I become this great actress. I didn't feel that way about the school. And I wasn't getting that, you know, feeling from the admin who I was speaking with. So he definitely lost a student and that coin because he didn't know how to properly, you know, make it make sense for people, out-of-state students. It just didn't make sense. So, if you could have dinner with any celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be? Beyonce. Beyonce. Like, it would be Beyonce. Period. I don't care who else is on this planet, okay? I'm going to dinner with Beyonce because we got a lot to talk about, all right? I think that's all the questions. I've had so much fun making this video. I'm so happy y'all sent me questions because I was so nervous. Like, oh my God, this is going to be the one post that I post that nobody's going to respond to. No one's going to comment. Like, you know how people be acting funny. So I was really nervous that that's what was going to happen, and it didn't. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for even giving a fuck. Like, y'all don't have to give a fuck, and y'all give a fuck. So thank you. Let me know what you want to see next or what you like to talk about next. I really want to get into talking about entertainment and, like, you know, music, because that's what I'm really into. I sit and gossip all the time, girl. Not gossip, girl. I ain't want to gossip, but I do, like, you know, talk about current events very often. That's always been one of my dream careers. Like, oh, I want to be on 106 in Park, or oh, I want to be on TRL. Like, I've always wanted to be a VJ or working next to, like, Charlemagne and on The Breakfast Club. Like, I want to talk to celebrities and to artists and ask them about A, B, C, and D, girl. You know, that's what I want to do with my life. Besides acting and, like, you know, doing my thing here, that's definitely the end goal. One of them. So, yes! Thanks again, and thank y'all again. Thank y'all. All right, girl. Bye.